Hey, this is Kurt Angle, and you're watching Pinfalls and Pixels, where wrestling meets gaming, hosted by Glocky. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
There's a hurricane coming through.
In the vast multiverse of wrestling personas, few characters have achieved the rare balance of charisma, comedy, and in-ring talent quite like the Hurricane. Clad in vibrant green and black, mask firmly in place, and backed by his larger-than-life character, the Hurricane soared into WWE like a caped crusader, ready to protect the squared circle from evil. But behind the cape and behind the mask stood Gregory Shane Helms, a wrestler who began his journey in the gyms of North Carolina and would go on to become a cult hero in professional wrestling history. This is the story of Shane Helms, the boy band dancer, Cruiserweight king, superhero, unlikely people's champion, and one of the most enduring entertainers of the Ruthless Aggression era. Before we dive in, I just want to take a quick moment to tell you how you can support the channel. Head over to pinfallsandpixels.com or to the store section on YouTube and grab one of our fresh t-shirts. We got a lot of designs to choose from. Or maybe you'd like an art print or a sticker featuring one of our exclusive cosplay designs. Want to be part of the show? Producer credits are also available so your name can appear in the credits of future videos. Thank you so much for the support, and now back to the video. Born in Springfield, North Carolina, Shane Helms began his wrestling journey early, debuting at the age of 16. In the early 90s, Helms quickly captured the attention of local fans, winning his first championship, the SWA Light Heavyweight Championship. It was evident from the beginning, Helms had something special. His early career saw him dominate the independent scene across North Carolina, racking up light heavyweight championships while experimenting with tag team success. Teaming with Big Daddy Mike Maverick, Helms formed Assault and Battery, later renamed the Serial Thrillers. The duo captured multiple tag team championships across the region and eventually found themselves in Omega, the Hardy Boyz upstart promotion. There, Helms would forge lifelong friendships with Matt and Jeff Hardy, alliances that would shape the course of his career. As his skills sharpened, Helms caught the eye of national promotions, and by 1999 he had signed with World Championship Wrestling. Upon arriving in WCW, Helms, alongside his friends Shannon Moore and Evan Courageous, was saddled with the gimmick that many assumed would tank his career. The trio formed 3 Count, a boy band parody that sang and danced their way to the ring, and a cringeworthy tribute to NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. But against all odds, 3 Count clicked. Their feud with the Young Dragons delivered some of WCW's most exciting cruiserweight matches in its final years. Their latter match at Starrcade 2000, a 3-team war including Jamie Noble, Yang, and others, became an underground favorite. As 3 Count began to dissolve, Helms broke out as a singles competitor. Under the name Sugar Shane Helms, he challenged Chavo Guerrero for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship at Sin and Greed. At the latter, he finally captured the gold, seemingly poised to lead WCW's next generation, until the company collapsed. During this period, Helms also served as a stunt double for David Arquette in WCW's feature film Ready to Rumble. His work on the film showcased not only his athleticism, but also his value to the company. With WWE's acquisition of WCW in 2001, Helms was among the 25 contracts brought over. Helms also made headlines backstage around this time. During the early stages of the Invasion storyline, he was involved in a real-life fight with Buff Bagwell. Witnesses later confirmed that Helms stood up for himself after Buff had verbally disrespected him, further enhancing his growing reputation as someone who wasn't afraid to defend his ground on or off the camera. In the chaos of the invasion angle, his momentum stalled. He lost his Cruiserweight Championship to Billy Kidman and was stripped of his Sugar persona, now forced to compete under his real name, Gregory Helms, with the forgettable theme song. But from this low point emerged a new identity. A lifelong comic book fan, Helms pitched a superhero gimmick inspired by Green Lantern. WWE gave him the green light and the Hurricane was born. Draped in a cape, full bodysuit, and eye mask, Helms fully committed to the character, no matter how ridiculous the scene. Fans loved it. The Hurricane became a surprise hit, delivering laughs, skits, and quality matches in equal measure. He was never above the absurd, getting hit with a frying pan or attempting to chokeslam villains triple his size. In 2002, the Hurricane made a memorable entrance in the Royal Rumble by attempting to double chokeslam both Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin. With his arms extended, Hurricane believed he had the strength to toss them both. The moment they looked at him and tossed him out became an instant classic in Rumble history, a hilarious highlight that perfectly captured his character. Also in 2002, he captured the WWE Hardcore Championship at WrestleMania 18, and later the Cruiserweight Championship in a triple threat match against Billy Kidman and Tajiri. It would be on Raw where he would team with Kane and capture the World Tag Team Championships, adding more legitimacy to a character that many initially wrote off as a novelty act. The Hurricane's finest hour may have come in 2003, when The Rock returned to Raw as a Hollywood egomaniac. Instead of pairing with a top-tier rival, The Rock chose to feud with the Hurricane. What followed were some of WWE's funniest and most beloved backstage segments. From taunts of the Hamburglar to surprise pinfalls, the chemistry between Helms and The Rock was electric. On March 10, 2003, the Hurricane scored the biggest win of his career, pinning The Rock with a little help from Stone Cold Steve Austin. One of the most memorable moments came when the Hurricane interrupted a Rock promo by driving into the arena in Stone Cold's signature truck, complete with Steve Austin's music. The distraction allowed Austin to ambush The Rock, giving fans yet another unforgettable moment in a feud full of surprises. Kevin Dunn once called one of their segments the best pre-tape WWE had ever done. In 2003, Helms found a new tag team partner in Rosie, a Samoan powerhouse who became his superhero in training, or shit for short. For nearly 2 years, the Hurricane trained his sidekick in comedic segments and won over crowds. At Backlash 2005, Hurricane and Rosie captured the World Tag Team Championships, eventually joined by Stacy Keibler as Super Stacy. Though a feel-good reign, WWE soon broke up the group, and the tag team division began to shift. In late 2005, Helms turned heel, ripped off the mask, and declared the superhero era over. Now simply Gregory Helms, he aimed to prove he was more than just a gimmick. At the 2006 Royal Rumble, Helms won the Cruiserweight Championship in an open invitational and held it for over a year, becoming the longest reigning Cruiserweight champion in WWE history. He delivered quality matches against Matt Hardy, Jimmy Yang, and Kid Cash, but WWE seemed uncertain of his direction. Still, Helms fought through injuries and setbacks, determined to remind everyone of his skills. In May 2007, Helms suffered a devastating neck injury, breaking 2 vertebrae. He underwent surgery and was sidelined for over a year. He returned in 2008 via hilarious Hurrapop video segments, mocking heels backstage before eventually returning to the ring as Hurricane Helms, a hybrid of both personas. Feuds with Shelton Benjamin, MVP, and Paul Burchill would follow. Helms reverted to his green and black superhero attire and reignited his connection with fans. His final WWE feud came against Zack Ryder in early 2010. In February 2010, Helms was released from WWE, but his story didn't end there. He wrestled across the independent circuit, becoming a fan favorite at conventions and indie promotions. He worked matches in Canada, PWG, and Lucha Libre USA. He even returned to Omega and captured the PWI International Heavyweight Championship. In 2015, Helms returned to mainstream wrestling as an agent and on-screen manager for TNA's Helms Dynasty. He later appeared in Ring of Honor, feuding with Marty Scurll in a hero versus villain program. In 2018, Helms returned to the WWE at the Royal Rumble as a surprise entrant. A year later, WWE hired him as a backstage producer, where he still works to this day. From the backyards of North Carolina to WrestleMania, Shane Helms carved out a career defined by creativity, humor, resilience, and skill. He was a cruiserweight standout, a comedic genius, a respected producer, and a man who embraced every role he was given, whether it involved dance routines, comic book capes, or backstage brawls. He was at one time a boy band parody who became a legit champion, who may be a joke to some, but a hero to many. And when the world of wrestling needed saving, it was the Hurricane who answered the call. Was the Hurricane one of your favorite characters during the Ruthless Aggression era? Do you still quote his legendary lines like, "What's up with that?" Or do you prefer the underrated Cruiserweight run of Gregory Helms? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and join us next time on Pinfalls and Pixels for more dives into the legends of wrestling. Thanks for watching. This is Glocky, and I'll catch you on the next one.